Hey there, everybody. Sitting here working on the old K2500 Suburban. That's my wife's. And she finally named the Burby. And so I wrote down what she said to me. But just a little backstory. My wife's grandmother was, or great-grandmother, excuse me, was about tiny, this big around, tough as nails. So this is what my wife said. Diet, one of the most badass females to walk the earth in my opinion. Had simple beauty, was quiet, but had a rumble that you didn't want to mess with. Sorry, that you didn't dare mess with. And kept going longer than anyone expected. And always made you smile when you saw her. She birthed 11 children, outlived 6 of them. Was 3 months short of living to 100 years. Was self-sufficient for about 60 years of her life, living on her own, gardened, chopped wood, and kicked ass at life. Yup, that's what I think of when I look at the Burby. So, Diet has been named. I can't think of a better name than that. That's perfect. And pretty much explains the truck. It's got that low rumble, but it makes you smile. It'll do anything for you. Good and reliable. So, awesome. So let me show you what I'm working on today. So you can see that the drive shaft's disconnected and hanging. It's pretty much right in line with that front yoke. And right there you can see that the drive shaft is touching the yoke on the transfer case. So yeah, I called Superlift and they said that it would be acceptable to drop that transfer case down below the frame or clearance that yoke. So I'm just going to clearance that thing today, because that seems like a little bit less work and it keeps all of the driveline angles where they're at and nothing's vibrating or binding more than just that little, you can hear it, but it's like, is that a transfer case problem? What is that? So it's just making a mark. I think if I just kiss it with the grinder, clearance that out, it's not going to make it any weaker, and that's the plan. So otherwise, I'm just going to nut and bolt the whole thing, make sure all the new suspension components and brackets are tight now that it's gotten some miles and it's gotten some time to wiggle around, bounce around, and just kind of do a little once over everything I've touched. Maybe even get a paint marker and do the classic dab, crank everything down, dab it, so that way I know I've touched it more than once. So that's what I'm doing today. So here we are. I use my high-speed grinder or die grinder and clearanced the face of those sides of the yoke, and then I also beveled the outsides where they were touching. And now it's time to put the drive shaft back in and check for clearance. All right, so now that I've got this clearanced, it is rotating. It's very close, but it's not touching. It's not binding. And it seems like that's going to be my fix. So, time to nut and bolt and get this thing down for a while. Now, it may be too soon to tell, but there's a good chance we're going to be getting another Colorado vehicle fairly soon. And that'll be, you know, you'll see that coming up. But that'll be one of my kids' first vehicles. So, it's going to be a little bit of a project, but it's going to be very close to this truck. And, you know, from day one of being daddy, this is kind of something I've looked forward to for quite a while, is, you know, having a small project so my kids can get used to and become familiar with the vehicles that they'll be driving. So this one needs an engine, and otherwise it's a Suburban with a 6-inch lift, 35-inch tires, nice roof rack, and big lighting, and all kinds of other fun things. So hopefully we can make a deal with that one, and you'll be seeing that after the first of the year. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.